Hey, what is going on, guys? Shot this video a second ago, but it kind of blipped a little bit while I was recording it, so I'm going to redo this. Anyway, Braves Fanfest 2016 recap. Did very, very well. I'm going to try and kind of blow through this pretty quick. These cards are in no particular order. That's a good chunk of cards. First, I had these little three. They were giving these out at the tables. I guess we didn't have anything for players. First one I got here is Chris Withrow. I did have cards on him, but we went back through the line a couple times on him. He's a really cool guy. Nice autograph, too. This one is Andrew McCarrahan. Had one card for him, got him in another line that he was sitting in. Really weird. They had guys sitting in multiple lines. Some guys sat in 2, 3 lines, and one guy would sit in one. It was really odd how it was mostly the minor leaguers, but it was just weird how they did it. And then Brady Fiegel was a single A pitcher. So anyway, no particular order on these. I got Carlos Tosca as a coach. 2 on him. Kevin Seitzer did 1. Former player and coach now, Terry Pendleton. Danny Nagel probably would have signed 500 if he had given it to him. I only signed 1. That was because the guy in front of me got 2. And then the guy behind him, the Braves guy, was like, oh, everybody, you're only supposed to get 1 card signed, blah, blah, blah. There was like 20 people in line, but whatever. So I only got him for 1. Evan Phillips for 1. Connor Lean for 1. Matt Marksberry, got 1 out of him. Brandon Barker for 1. Zach Bird did 1. And Andrew McCarrahan I had, Tops Update, and him for 1. Evan Rutke, I'm an idiot because he was signing multiples and I completely forgot to get his 2015 Tampa Yankees card out to take with me. So, yeah, I'm an idiot for that one. And then this guy, he might be, I don't know, Bryson Davison is a goofball, but I get more on him later. Rio Ruiz, I think, is completely starting to become their number 1A or 1B tool. He was, I don't know, everybody that was at this table, mind you, it was all 3 of them are minor leaguers. The other guys only had team set cards, but they were signing multiples. Like Marksberry was signing, he has 3 team cards, I believe. Jordan got all 3 of those signed. I can't remember who it was that sat in the middle of them. He was signing multiple if you had it. And then Rio Ruiz the whole time, everybody's got like 1, 2, 3 cards. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm only supposed to sign 1. I can't sign multiple. He freaking douchebag. He was a douchebag when he came through here last year. Anyway, I had 2 cards. He only signed 1. And then apparently, story we were talking about this yesterday. I guess his dad has been known to go to games or something, and apparently asked somebody like, "What are you getting my son's autograph for? How much do you sell it for on eBay?" And apparently the guy like just completely had to blow up on his dad. But anyway, whatever. Max Povsey, how do I say it? Obviously, you can see there his Sharpie was going to heck. I got him for 2. Kind of disappointed with the Sharpie. If I'd known it was that bad, I would have given him my own, but it is what it is. Dustin Peterson for 2. That's 2 more autographs than I have of his brother DJ, who's a complete tool. Him and his 215 batting average in the minors last year. Danny Barawa for 1. Max Fried. Oh, whoops. Max Fried for 2. And this one kind of bubbled, streaked, and everything else. I wasn't real happy with that one, but I rubbed it down right before he signed it too. Is what made me mad. John Gant for 3. I swear if my phone does not quit going off. I had nobody text me or call me all day, and then I try to do this, and I'm getting texts and phone calls. Andrew Thurman for 3. He was really nice. I didn't go to that last series when Mississippi came through. I only hit him up once, and they were pretty cool. Or Thurman was pretty cool apparently, but he did all 3. He was multiples. Chris Withrow again for 2. Super nice autograph. Great penmanship on that. And he's a really nice guy, so I hope he does really well. Casey Kelly was on 3 separate occasions with at 3 different stations that we hit. And I ended up getting him on 5 cards. He did 1, then 2, and then he did the last 3 the last time we saw him. And I think he signed everything for I know he signed a few for Jordan. I don't know if he signed all of his or not. He had 8 or 9 for him. Ian Kroll, I got him. I should have got him on another one of those like cards they were giving out, because he did 2 cards for me the first time I saw him, and then we saw him right at the end again. I didn't have anything. And then Tyler Flowers. This is funny. After the guy behind Nagel was like, they're only supposed to sign 1 card. Tyler Flowers is a couple seats down, and I get to him, and I just pointed at the 2015 Topps card, and I was like, you can just sign that one, Tyler. He's like, nah, ain't no pressure. He's like, I'll sign them all. So he signed every one of them. He didn't care. It's what a lot of them were doing. A lot of them really didn't care. If you had 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, I mean, they were different. They were signing them all. Some of them wouldn't sign dupes. A little bit of what I was noticing just from some of these guys, but they just really didn't care. So Kelly Johnson did 4. He signed the first one he signed, I think, was this one. I was like, God, you're gonna sign one? You didn't even sign the Braves card I had. Then he signed the Yankees card, and I'm like, what the crap? He signed this one. He ended up signing all 4. So his line was extremely stupid long. We weren't quite understanding why his line was so long, because he's been a Brave now like 3 different times. So anyway, Gordon Beckham I had him for 1 because the stupid Braves, they didn't put him on the list, the initial list. We got all the way up there, and oh yeah, well Gordon Beckham's he's not on the list, but he is going to be here. Well, I didn't have any for him. Jordan thankfully had a duplicate, and he let me have that one. So otherwise, I wouldn't have got Beckham. Sean Newcomb for 4. Good grief, people. He signed 9 for Jordan. He was signing pages. Tyrell Jenkins did 1. He did 2, I think, or 3 for Jordan. Tukey Toussaint. Got him for 2. And the very last 2 autographs we got. The last hour had kind of dwindled down, the people had, because all the big players, the alumni and all that had quit signing. So, we hit all 4. Well, they had 5 stations set up total. They had 3 on the left side, on the left field side, third base side, mostly like the 755 club. And then on the first base side, they had Suite 53 and Suite 48 set up with stations in there. Those 2 seemed to be the worst 2. Like, they had the bigger players: Andrew Jones, Freddie Freeman, Dansby Swanson, Phil Necro, Braxton Davison. A lot of guys were over there in those 2. And the 3 that we hit up weren't as bigger of players, but it was more, it seemed like it was more players and it was more prospects. So we just kind of we went down to try to get Swanson. We got down there and you couldn't even move. It was really bad. So we just, well, screw this. It's not worth fighting this. Let's just go down here. Let's get what we can get down here. We know there's some good guys down here. So we did that. Anyway, the last hour we went and we hit the 755 club. We hit both stations there. And then, so let's go down here and let's try and get these last 2, because it was mostly minor leaguers like Newcomb, Thurman, those guys. We went and hit that. We hit 1 station, went right through, blew right through it, and we had, I think, 15 minutes left. We got to the last station, got in line. They tried to run everybody off who was in line. If you don't have an autograph card for this line, you can't be in line. What they were doing is they were giving you a card, 1 to 300. If you got one of those cards, that was pretty much you were going to get the autograph. If you didn't, you weren't guaranteed anything. Well, everybody who was in line with 15 minutes left, none of us had cards. They'd already passed them all out and blew through the line. And so we're all arguing. We're like, none of us in this line. There's 20 of us in here. None of us have a card. Like, this line's moving extremely fast. Like, seriously. So they let us all stay. We got done, and we knew that Malik Smith and Braxton Davidson were doing a photo thing. They did like a photo appearance thing for kids and adults. The players were just taking photos, and that was it. Well, it was between us and where the door was. We had to exit out of the ballpark. So we're like, well, we get done with this. We're going straight there. We'll see if we can maybe get one of them. Well, much to our surprise, yeah, Malik Smith for 1. And the one that I did not expect to get after seeing how the autograph lineup worked and who he was with. Some way, somehow, the worst player in the organization, probably the hardest guy to get, Braxton Davidson for 1. I was shocked, completely shocked. Like, that was a great way to end the day, because that's for my pro debut set, and he's a jerk. I mean, there's no other way to put it. There's so many horror stories out there on so many websites and so many things that I've heard from other people. The guy is by far the biggest jerk the Braves have. So I'm glad I got him. It was pretty neat. I mean, I wished him well. I mean, he was cool with me and everything. I mean, I guess I should say he's the biggest jerk based on my interaction with him, but based on everything that I've ever heard about him Either he was just putting on a front yesterday, or he got the DJ Stewart talk that the Orioles and his single A team rookie ball team gave him last year. I don't know, but I've heard so many horror stories about him. So I was pleasantly surprised for that. So those are the cards. I also got a couple of baseballs, so they did have some stuff. They had a big yard sale, game used yard sale, and all that. Both of these are MLB authenticated, and these are really cheap. So it was like I might as well. It was just like paying the price of a ball. So Jose Peraza on the sweet spot. And like I say, it's already on MLB authenticated. And Craig Kimbrell, the former closer now with the Padres. And again, MLB authenticated. And the last thing I got, because they have, like I say, game use stuff, I picked this up to try to get autographed in spring training next in a couple weeks if I decide to go down there and hit their complex. They're for the games they're terrible, but actually for Disney, the way they set the Braves complex up, it's not that bad for the practices. But you can see this spring training. It's a game use spring training jersey from last spring, and it was the only one they had left of him. So it's Jason Hirsch. So it's pretty. I mean, yeah, it sucks at 72, but still, I mean, game use spring training jersey. That'd be cool to get signed, in my opinion. So all the other guys they have were like Alberto Callaspo, BJ Upton, and a lot of guys. I think they did have a Derek Lowe. The Derek Lowe was already autographed, but they had $75 on it, and I was just like, nah, not for Derek Lowe. That was probably the biggest name they had, other than maybe, well, Melvin Upton, BJ Upton, whatever you want to call him. So overall, it was fun. It was a good trip. I had a good time. It was well worth going up there. Easy drive up, easy drive back. Just a long, long day because we actually got there at about 9 o'clock. It opened at 10, and we were literally 750,000 people back in the line. It was just one little file line. If you're familiar with Turner Field, their little center field area where you can go in through the center field gate, they had that open. They didn't have the center field gate open, but the line just started like over, and you just did a zigzag. It was amazing the amount of people. It was a little unorganized the first couple hours, and you could tell the Braves were not prepared for that many people. They didn't anticipate that, and really, quite frankly, they didn't have they had a couple good guys, but it was nobody. Let's face it, the Braves are a fourth place team in the NL East. It is what it is. So, but we were pleasantly shocked. We did as well as we did. We had a good time. I'm glad we went. So, on to spring training. The Rays have a fan fest, I think, on the 27th of February. We're gonna possibly go hit up. We're not quite sure yet, but definitely right now my focus is going to be on Detroit because I'm going to start hitting the Tigers. I've got all their team sets for the minor leagues, so I got to start pulling stuff for them probably next week. I'm taking this week off. I'm just so sick of dealing with stuff this last couple weeks. It's been nonstop, so probably this week will be a cardless week, and I can just relax. So that's it for now, guys. I got some schoolwork to do, and apparently some phone calls and texts I got to send because my phone has been blowing up for the last 20 minutes. So y'all take care. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we will see y'all next time.